Good morning, everyone. It's Pastor Ray. I don't want to be before you long. I just want to read something to you. It says in Leviticus chapter 18 and 21, "And thou shalt not let any of thy seed pass through the fire to Moloch, neither shalt thou profane the name of thy God. I am the Lord." I want to read that again. "And thou shalt not let any of thy seed pass through the fire of Moloch, neither shalt thou profane the name of thy God. I am the Lord." I wanted to talk about this morning. I'm seeing too many children invited to a barbecue that ultimately roasts them. Too many barbecue babies. I know that's a strange title and it's not a joke, but I'm seeing something that's happening too much and it's really hurting my heart. What happened in the ancient days is the parents would get so selfish and so self-absorbed that they would build a bronze statue to the god Moloch. There's something that the parent wanted to do, something the parent wanted to have, so the parent would offer that child to Moloch by having this bronze statue built, and the hands of Moloch would be out, and they would take fire and put it on the Moloch's hands, and they would burn that statue until the hands became red hot. And when the hands became red hot, they would put their baby in Moloch's hands. They would hear their baby shrieking in pain, screaming in pain, and they did not care. They were heartless. They knew their baby was hurting, and they said, "You got to burn because there's something I want." And today, I thought that we were more sophisticated than that, but I got to tell you, we're roasting our children today. We're roasting our children today. But it's not happening with the fires of a statue. It's happening with the fires of divorce. It's happening through the fires of divorce. We are roasting our babies. We are roasting our children. And what happens is, just like the ancient times, the parents would be so self-absorbed, they'll be so self-centered that they would see their babies hurting, but they'll roast them through that fire anyway. And that's what's happening to a lot of our children. Our children need balance in their homes. They need their parents. They need love. They need the balance between discipline and nurturing. They need both of those sides. And what happens is we put them through the fire of divorce. And in those homes, those children don't have that balance. So you have rather the mama allowing the children to do whatever they want to do. So they'll like to be with mama more than they like to be with daddy. Or you'll have a situation where the father is trying to buy the children all the time and the mama is trying to keep their children straight, but I'm going to buy them so that the children will like me more. And the whole time, because we're dealing with our own issues, we're dealing with our own problems, we're roasting our children through the fires of divorce. And the thing is, we know what it did to us. We know what separation did to us. We know what not having a father or a mother did to us, and we can't even think about it, because just like the ancient people who roasted their own babies in Moloch's hands, we're roasting our children on the altar of divorce, and we hear our babies screaming and crying, and we can't help them. Jesus said that divorce happens because of the hardness of man's hearts, and that's what's happening today. The reason why families are breaking apart, homes are breaking apart, is because of the hardness of our heart. We got to know that our children are shrieking in pain. They're telling you they're in pain. That's why a lot of them on drugs. That's why a lot of them are giving their bodies away. That's why a lot of them can't take authority. That's why our children are failing in school. It's because they're shrieking on the altar of Moloch. We're not burning our children with fire under a bronze statue. We're burning our children through divorce. A lot of children are being burned through molestation. They're offering their children on the altars of molestation. They're offering their children on the altar of drugs. They're introducing drug culture to their children. We're burning our children in so many different ways today. And I'm telling you, your children are shrieking in pain. Let's take our babies. Don't be heartless. Let's stop the burning. Let's stop the burning, brothers and sisters. Let's come to ourselves. There was a time where fathers and mothers would at least say, well, Our children are still in the home. We still got babies. They would wait till their children got out of the house to make certain decisions for themselves because they knew it wasn't about them. But we're in a day where we're not even understanding that it's not about us. When you have a child, your life is now focused on being what your child needs. That child did not ask to be here. That child did not ask to be in this situation. And what's happening now is we're so concerned about our own life, our own happiness, that we're not willing to sit down as adults and say, let's figure this out. Let's not put our babies on an altar that they did not desire to be on. We're having too many barbecue babies. I'm seeing it in real life, in real time, with my own eyes. I'm going to church, and I'm going to different ministries, and I'm seeing young men and young women growing up in single-parent homes. Sometimes they can get disciplined, sometimes they can't. Sometimes they're told what's right and godly. The other time they're going home and they're being raised to listen to anything, look at anything, ingest anything. And so these children are growing up warped and out of balance, and their spirits are being burnt up by the world. The Bible says that divorce happens because of the hardness of men's hearts. Let's get back to God. How, I used to think to myself, how evil were those people to burn their children on the altar? How evil was those people to heat up the hands of Moloch red hot and see their own baby screaming and hollering and crying, and yet at the same time would sit there and allow it to happen because they had their own desire. They had their own motive. They had their own need. So they didn't care how much their babies burned on the altar because they knew what they want. They knew their own need. And I'm saying to you that is happening today. That's why a lot of mothers are cutting out and going to the club at night, because we need what we need. That's why a lot of families are getting high and getting drunk and doing whatever, because we just need what we need. We're not thinking about our children. We're not thinking about our families. We're not thinking about our relationships. I need what I need so Moloch's hands can get red hot. I will put my child on Moloch's altar, and I will burn my child as much as I need to burn it. I'll burn my baby as much as I need to burn it. Why? Because I have a personal need. There's something I want. So forget what my child needs. We got our own needs as parents. We can't do that. We don't understand things the way the previous generation did. They matured faster. They did things for, God bless you, Brother Washington. Good to see you today. This brother works with children, and it means a lot to see him say, give a heart to this, because he sees it every day. That brother sees it every day, how there is abandonment. He sees people that's dealing with mental problems, fathers out of the home, mothers out of the home. They have all sorts of issues. So for this brother to be on here and give a heart to this video, I know I'm not talking crazy. Saints of God, we have to take our babies off of the altar of Moloch. We don't burn our babies with fire. We burn them with things like drugs. We burn them through divorce. We burn them through prostitution. We burn our children through pornography. That's what we're burning our children with today. And you are just as heartless as the ancient people who were offering up their children on the altar of Moloch. I am telling you, let's get our babies off that altar. Dr. Umar Johnson, he talked about it. He talked about how sometimes mothers can become jealous of their daughters because they're seeing their daughters live a type of life that they didn't get to live when they were younger, so they get mad and put their babies out the house, put their babies in the street. Don't you do that, mothers. You're supposed to allow your children to go further than you. You're supposed to allow your children to do better than you. And you're supposed to lift your children up, the next generation up. Don't be jealous at the fact that your child is living a better life or going further than you've gone. I just wanted to offer that to you to let you know that we got to take our children off of the altar of Moloch. We got to take our children off the altar of Baal. Saints of God, we can't drop our kids off and go to the club and get drunk and get high all night long and then come get baby whenever. It registers with a child. They remember these things. They remember how mama thought it was more important to be in the street than to love them. They remember how daddy thought it was more important to do his thing than to be with them. They remember these things. And like I said, what happens today is in most cases, I see mothers who will let the child do whatever they want to do because they want the child to love them the most. In most cases, I see fathers who will try to buy and purchase the love of their children. They're not there, and the children need them. But instead of giving you yourself, you rather give them money or toys or trinkets. But I want to tell you, your children need you, fathers. Your children need you, mothers. Let us take our babies off of the altar of Moloch. Let's stop burning our babies. Let's do better than what we receive. I thank the Lord for the beautiful family that I have. My father and mother, great example to me, that they stayed together. They allowed me to grow and develop in life. But I want to tell you that your babies need you. I'm looking at too many suffer. In my own family, I'm looking at too many suffer. I'm looking at too many suffer. And I'm going to end with this. I want you to think about the statue again. I'm going right back to the beginning. I want you to think about that statue. It was a bronze statue. They built up because the father or the mother had such a need, such an anger in them, such a selfishness in them. They said, I want something from Moloch. I'm going to build an altar to Moloch, and I'm going to sacrifice my child. So they would build a bronze statue. They would roast the hands until it was red hot. And when those bronze hands became red hot, they would put their own baby in Moloch's hands and burn their baby to a crisp, with the baby shrieking and crying in pain, hollering, screaming in pain. Yes, we're doing the same thing today. You can't see the fire, so you don't think it's there. But it's there, and your children are hurting. Your children are hurting. I'm telling you that my prayers are with you. Hear what I'm saying. God hates it. He said, don't profane my name. Don't profane my name. And I'm telling you, don't profane his name. Now, some of you are in separation. Some of you have made mistakes in the past. But if you can rectify things, if you can get things together, get it together, brothers and sisters. I'm seeing too many people suffering. Let's take our babies off the altar of Moloch. I have to go. I'm not dressed up for a good reason today. I have to go and show love to a family, show respects, and my wife have to bury her father today. Keep us in prayer. Good to see you, Brother Allen. I have to bury her father today, and saints, I'm just saying to you, it really weighed on my heart, not only for what I'm seeing today, but also because of what I've seen throughout the years, even in the life of my wife and the life of our sisters, the abandonment and how it affected them, and how they were really hurt in a lot of different ways throughout the years due to abandonment. And saints of God, we love you. We're praying for you, and I just hope that this reaches down in somebody's heart out there to work it out. Don't be hard-hearted. Think about your family. Think about that wife. Think about that husband, and do what God say. And we'll see a change in people's lives. God bless you. Keep me in prayer. I'm keeping you in prayer. I know life is not simple. I know life has a lot of different issues. Things are not just straightforward. But truth is the truth. The light is the light. And we love you, and we're praying for you.